Hello everyone, this is Dr. Garima Goswami, Professor, Sanskriti University, Mathura. Today I am here to deliver you some important topics regarding basic electrical and electronics engineering, which will be very useful for BCA, MCA and BTech computer science first year students basically. So these are the contents of my today's lecture. Series parallel combinations of the resistors, then resistances in series, resistances in parallel, voltage divider and current divider. So these will be the basic topics of my today's lecture. So let's go further. Voltage sources and current sources. When series and parallel, both combinations we are having in our circuit. So we'll see that there are two types of currents. One is DC current and another one is AC current. So what is DC current? DC current is nothing but the direct current in which the current, magnitude of current and the phase of the current both will be constant. Note here that the magnitude can be varied in variable DC, but the phase, what the means of phase? Phase means positive to negative or negative to positive. It will never change. So phase will be constant. If it is in positive side, then the wave remain in positive side. If it is in negative direction, then the wave will remain in negative direction. So that means that the phase will be strictly constant in case of DC. Fine. The magnitude can be varied or can be constant. On the other hand, in alternating current, alternating means it is keep changing. So the magnitude will be changing as per as the phase will be changing. The phase will be strictly from either from positive to negative or from negative to positive. It will be go on. So in AC, the magnitude and phase both are changing in nature. So we can see that the electricity that we are receiving at our home, that is AC, which is single phase AC. So we can say that all the appliances we are using at our home, whether it is tube light or fan or any other appliances, they all work on single phase AC. Fine. So now we come to this batteries. If we are having two batteries, yeah, this is a voltage source in series. If you are having some voltage sources connected in series, so DC voltage source in series can be combined and replaced with a single voltage source. If we are having an AC voltage source in series, that can be combined and replaced with a single AC source only if the angular frequency of the both voltage source are same. Right? So note my point that if there are two AC voltage sources with different frequencies, we cannot add them. Right? So we are not having a single formula to add them or to represent a single voltage source by the addition of two voltage source of different angular frequency. Right? AC voltage sources operating at different frequencies can be added together. Yes, so we will see by some examples over there. So let's check. In the previous one, if you are having two voltage sources, yes, if we have two voltage sources, one is of 5 volt and another one is 3 volt. So see here, positive, negative, positive, negative. We are having two voltage sources, one of 5 volt, another one of 3 volt. We can add them and the resultant battery of 8 volt battery source can be represented these two voltage sources. Fine. Similarly, if we have the same two voltage sources, a 5 volt DC, 3 volt DC, but the terminals are interchanged like positive, negative, negative and positive. So in that case, we can reverse the terminals polarity. We can reverse it like plus minus with this magnitude of this as minus 3 volt. So what will happen? This 3 volt battery will be represented as minus 3 volt with the reverse polarity. This was minus plus, now it is plus minus. So the resultant will be 5 volt plus minus 3 volt. So the resultant will be 2 volt. So we have seen that even if we are having the same magnitudes, with the reversal of the polarity, the magnitude of the resultant voltage is changed. Fine. Similarly, in the next example, we can discuss that, yeah, this is a 5-volt battery with polarity minus plus, 3-volt battery plus minus. Fine. So for this, we can change it as a magnitude of minus 5 volt. Polarity should be plus minus, then 3 volt as it is. So what it happened? Minus 5 volt plus 3 volt. The resultant will be minus 2 volt. Polarity plus minus plus minus. So the resultant voltage source is representing that two batteries is minus 2 volt with polarity as plus minus. So it can be represented as minus plus with the negative polarity, means 2 volt. So 2 volt minus plus. Similarly, we are having another example like minus plus minus plus. The 5-volt battery and 3-volt battery both are with the positive magnitude if they are connecting with the polarity like this, minus plus minus plus. So we can reverse the polarity and make the magnitude as the negative one. So minus 5 volt plus minus, then minus 3 volt plus minus. What will be the resultant? Minus 5 volt minus 3 volt means minus 8 volt plus minus, or you can say that 8 volt with minus plus polarity. So here we have seen that how different voltage source, a DC voltage source or a battery can be added together with changing their polarity, and how we can add them with the same magnitude with a DC and AC source. So let us consider another example. A 5-volt DC source, that is a battery, is connected in series with a 2-volt sine 10t. What is this 10 over here? It is omega. 2-volt sine 10t means the angular frequency is 10. So here there are two voltage source, one is DC and another one is AC. So we do not have a single symbol, so that for a single voltage source that can replace the symbol for the DC and AC source. What we can do? The resultant will be 5 volt plus 2 volt sine 10t. Fine. So whenever we are having two AC sources, one AC source is 2V sine 10t. What is 2V? This is the maximum value of the voltage. So 2V sine 10t. Another voltage source is 2V sine 10.5t. What does it mean? It means that there are two AC voltage sources we are having with different frequencies. Its angular frequency is 10 hertz and its angular frequency is 10.5 omega, the value of omega. Here it is 10, here it is 10.5. So there is not even a single formula or a single symbol which can represent these two voltage sources altogether. What we can do here? We should add these voltage sources as a separate manner, like 2V sine 10t plus 2V sine 10.5t, right? So if we are having the voltage sources in parallel, this we have discussed when we are having voltage sources in series. Now if we are having voltage sources in parallel, they must have the same magnitude. For example, let us consider if you are having a voltage source of 2 volt connected with another voltage source of 2 volt, they can be connected, it is allowed. But a 2 volt voltage source cannot be connected in parallel with a 3 volt voltage source, right? It is not allowed, because in parallel the voltages are equal. Next, if we have an AC source 2V sine 10t, it can be connected in parallel with 2V sine 10t. But a voltage source of 2V sine 10t cannot be connected in parallel with 3V sine 10t. Right? So the same magnitude with same frequency voltage sources can be connected in parallel, but the different frequency, different magnitudes voltage source cannot be connected in a parallel circuit. Similarly, a current sources. If the current sources are connected in parallel, they can be represented by a single current source. An AC source in parallel can be combined and replaced with a single source only if they are having same angular frequency. So again and again I am telling you that the voltage sources, whether it is voltage source or it is a current source, they can be added if and only if they are having same angular frequency, right? So let us take an example. This is a current source of 2 ampere and a current source of 1 ampere. We can represent these both as a single current source of 3 ampere because these both are having the same direction, right? On the other hand, if you are having a 2 ampere current source with upward direction and 1 ampere current source with downward direction, then the resultant will have 1 ampere current source in upward direction because these will be subtracted. 2 ampere minus 1 ampere because of the different direction. So they will be subtracted, right? Similarly, if you are having 2 ampere current source in downward direction plus 1 ampere current source in upward direction, then what will be resultant? It will be 2 ampere minus 1 ampere, but the direction of the resultant will be what? Downward, because we are subtracting from 2 ampere to 1 ampere. So the direction of the resultant will be as if of the larger one, like 2 amperes direction, that is downward. So the direction of the resultant is downward. Similarly, it can be represented as minus 1 ampere in upward direction. So this is how we can add our current sources who are connected in parallel. If a 5 ampere DC current source in parallel to a 2 ampere sin 10t AC current source means that they are contributing a total current source of 5 plus 2 sin 10t at that node. So there is no other formula which can add a DC current source with an AC current source directly. We can add them separately like this. Fine. Similarly, if we are having two current sources at AC current source at different frequencies, so we need to add them like this. If the current source, AC current source of 2 ampere sin 10t, another AC current source of 2 ampere sin 10.5t will be added separately like this. So current sources in series, if we are having some current sources connected in series, then the resultant current will be as it is. Like if the 3 ampere current source and 3 ampere current source is there, then the resultant current source will be of 3 ampere, right? If a 3 ampere current source and 1 ampere current source means this is 1 ampere current source, 1 ampere current source. So these are not allowed, because in series, if there is a 1 current source in a series combination, then it will maintain that amount of current for the whole line until it is diverted, right? So in series, if there is a current source, the whole line will have the same amount of current. Next, so as a summarize, we can say that the voltage sources in series can be added, the current sources in parallel can be added only in case where the magnitude, polarity and frequency of operation are identical. Can multiple voltage sources can be added in parallel. Only in the case where the magnitude, direction of the current flow and frequency of operation are identical can multiple current sources be in series. So in continuation of this, we can see over here, like these are the DC batteries or cell, we can say. If these batteries are connected like its positive terminal, these are the batteries of 1.5 volt each, right? So these 1.5 volt batteries are connected, if like this, all the positive terminals are connected together and all the negative terminals are connected together. So we are having two terminals, one positive terminal and one negative terminal. So the resultant voltage will be 1.5 volt. Fine. If the same batteries of the same voltage, if these are connected like this, its positive terminal to its negative terminal, then positive terminal to negative terminal, its positive terminal to its negative terminal, and then its positive terminal to the external terminal. So, and its negative terminal is the another one external terminal. So in this case, it is called as series arrangement. This is called as parallel arrangement. 1.5 volt is the resultant voltage. This is called as the series arrangement, and we are having 6 volt voltage as the resultant of all the 4 batteries we are having. So in a circuit diagram, I must tell you that what a electrical circuit diagram needs. In any circuit diagram, basically there are 3 elements are needed. One is source, the source of electricity by which the electricity or the electrical energy is going forward. The second is the path or the wires from which the electricity is being transmitted from one point to another point. The third element of a circuit is load, which is basically consuming that electricity. If you are talking about at our home, in our home appliances, there is a main board or main switch at our home. So that is basically the source part. The wiring of all of the house wiring, the wiring is called as the path from which the current is going to towards the all appliances. And all the loads or appliances like fan, TV and refrigerator, all these are loads. So there are basically three components in any electrical circuit. So this is, we can see that this is, there is a circuit, simple circuit. This is the symbol of ammeter. This is the symbol of voltmeter. This is the symbol of resistor. This is the symbol of battery, and this is the symbol of switch. So right now it is open, the switch is open, so no current will be flowing through this battery, because I want to tell you that the current will start flowing from a battery only if after the running to the path, the same current will come to the negative terminal of the battery. So there will be no current flowing in the right now in the circuit because of the switch is open. So it is open circuited right now. If we have the resistors connected in series or in parallel. So in a series circuit, if we are having these two resistors connected in series, there is only one path and the current will be flowing in this direction like this, and the current in both the resistors will be same. So similarly, the series circuit rule are there, some rules are there, because there is only one path. So the current will be same in all the resistors. So if there is this circuit, we are having a battery, one resistor R1, another resistor R2 and another resistor R3, and these are the ammeters, right? So one ammeter's reading is given over there, it is 2 milliampere. If I ask that what is the reading of all these three ammeters, so what will be the answer? Yes, obviously it is 2 milliampere because this is a series circuit. So all ammeters will be having the same result, that is 2 milliampere, right? Because this is the series circuit. So now if we are having the series circuit with the R1, R2, R3, R4 and so on, Rn, we are having n number of resistors connected in series, then their equivalent resistance will be R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus Rn and so on. So this is the equivalent resistance. So for in case of the series circuit, the equivalent resistance is larger than the largest value of the series resistances, right? Suppose if you are having three resistors 5, 4 and 6 connected in series. So what will be the equivalent resistance? 5 plus 4 plus 6 means 15 ohms. So that value is larger than the largest value, that is 6 ohm in the series circuit, right? If the resistors are connected in parallel, so suppose there are two resistors connected in parallel, we can see over here in parallel circuit there are different paths for current. So the current will be different and the voltage will be same in each resistance, and this is the formula of equivalent resistance when they are connected in parallel. So this is R1, R2, R3 and so on. The equivalent resistance will be 1 upon R equivalent is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3 and so on. So similarly, if you are having only two resistances connected in parallel, you can write down its direct formula, right, like the equivalent resistance will be R1 R2 upon R1 plus R2. Fine. So suppose if you are having a series parallel combination of resistances. So this is the circuit and you need to find out the equivalent resistance of the circuit. So how you will find out? Simply you will see from the load side, like from this side. So from if I am seeing from this side, I can say that R5 and R4 are in parallel. This combination is connected in series with R3. Then this combination is connected in parallel with R2. Then the whole combination will be connected in series with R1. So this is the method how we can calculate the equivalent resistance of a series parallel circuit combination. So if R5 and R4 are connected in parallel, see here R4, R5 upon R4 plus R5. Let us consider it as Rx. So this is the Rx which is the resultant of R4 and R5 resistances. Now this Rx is connected in series with R3. It can be seen very easier that Rx plus R3 is a resultant of these two resistances. So what will be here? Rx plus R3, let us consider it's Ry. So we can replace this Rs and Rx as Ry. So what is here? Now Ry is connected in parallel with the R2. So we can easily calculate the equivalent resistance of these two, like R2 into Ry upon R2 plus Ry, right? So the equivalent resistance will be like this. Let us consider it as Rz. So what is Rz? R2 Ry upon R2 plus Ry, right? So it will become Rz. So what is Rz? Rz is connected in series with R1. So the equivalent resistance of the whole series parallel combination is R equivalent is equals to Rz plus R1. So this is how we can calculate the resistances of series parallel combination. So let us take an example of that. See over here, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resistances connected in series parallel combination. Then what will be the equivalent resistance of this circuit? 6 ohm and 3 ohm connected in parallel. So their parallel combination will have 6 into 3 upon 6 plus 3, right? So 18 upon 9, 2 ohm of this combination. Then that 2 ohm will be connected in series with 8 ohm, means 10 ohm. This combination will have 8 plus 2, 10 ohm. That 10 ohm must be connected in parallel with 10 ohm. So 10 ohm parallel 10 ohm means 5 ohm. 10 into 10 upon 10 plus 10. That 5 ohm will be connected in parallel with a series with this 10 ohm. So means the R equivalent must be equal to 15 ohm. Yes, this is the 15 ohm resistance. So this is all about the how we can calculate the equivalent resistance of the series parallel combination. So just like you can see here, in this combination B and C are parallel connected in series with A. In this circuit, B and C are in series connected in parallel with A, right? So that there will be the different equivalent resistance of these two circuits, right? So similarly, the current and resistance in series circuit, we can say that if we are having a series circuit, we have R equivalent like R1 plus R2 plus R3 like that, and the current will be same in all the resistances, right? The total voltage in series circuit as per the Ohm's law, we are having Ohm's law that V is equals to V1 plus V2. If you are having voltage sources in a circuit and different voltage drop in different resistors, then we can calculate the equivalent voltage by the Kirchhoff's voltage law, like sigma E is equals to sigma IR. Then what is IR? IR is the equivalent voltage drop in all the resistances connected in the same circuit. Similarly, in parallel circuit, we will apply Kirchhoff's current law. Which is Kirchhoff's current law? Kirchhoff's current law tells us that in any node or any junction, the summation of all the incoming currents is equal to the summation of all outgoing currents, right? So in the next class, we will discuss about these two laws, that is Kirchhoff's voltage law and Kirchhoff's current law, and we will discuss that how we can calculate the current and voltage values at the different point of a circuit by using this Kirchhoff's voltage law and Kirchhoff's current law, right? So Kirchhoff's voltage law is very useful when we are applying mesh analysis or loop analysis in a circuit, in a closed circuit. And Kirchhoff's current law is very useful when we are applying nodal analysis in any circuit. So thank you so much. In the next lecture, wait for my lecture, we will discuss about Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law. The prerequisites of that lecture is our today's lecture. Thank you so much.